Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the program. This is the Dylan Brachna Show. I am Dylan Brachna. We're going to be discussing all divisions of college football. Going to go over scores, top 25, and a couple other topics. Uh, Mainly topics in D1 football, because that's what I follow the most out of the three, except for the President's Athletic Conference and Division 3 football, because my Teal Tomcats are in it. So, speaking of pack play, let's start with that. We're in going in the week 4 of the season for the PAC. Last week started pack play with Waynesburg toppling Hiram 35-27. Westminster defeating Case Western Reserve 28-23. Teal falling to Allegheny 26-0. Geneva beating St. Vincent 55-35. Uh, Waynesburg travels to Greenville on Saturday. That will be week 2 in conference play. Week 4 overall. The Tomcats are 0-3. The Yellow Jackets are 1-2. It's homecoming for the Tomcats as well. Connor Steffens and I will be on the call for that game. 88.1 FM, WXTC, Greenville, Pennsylvania. Maybe on the Pack Digital Network. I'm not sure. But we'll be going on at 2. And the game starts at 3. Let's go ahead and take a look into this Waynesburg and Hiram game. If anything will want to load. Scoring summary. Here we go. I'll be showing this on screen too, so you can follow along. Passing for Waynesburg, Luke Hudson went 17 for 19, 174 yards. His longest throw was a 38-yard strike, and he scored 2 touchdowns. So Luke Hudson almost having a perfect game, essentially. Only 2 incomplete balls, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, and over 150 yards passing. And Thomas Burke went 0 for 1. Rushing, Zane Colley had a day. 29 attempts, 230 yards, averaged 8 yards a carry. His longest was 38, and he scored 3 touchdowns on the ground. So he did most of the heavy lifting for this Yellow Jackets football team. Isaiah Fields led in receiving with 3 catches for 62 yards, averaging 20 yards a catch, and his longest was 38. Tyler Richmond, 3 catches for 41 yards, averaging 13.7. Longest was 28, and he scored 1 touchdown through the air. Elijah Jackson also had that second touchdown from Luke Hudson. He had 1 catch for 15 yards, and that 1 catch was the touchdown. Drew Pinkerton, the kicker, went 0 for 1 from field goal range, but he was 5 for 5 on extra points. Punting, Landon Bradley, 3 punts for 101 yards, averaging 33.7 yards per punt. His longest was a 36-yard kick, and all 3 of his punts were landed inside the 20. I'll work. Marcus Crum, the freshman defensive back, had 2 interceptions yesterday. One in the early stages of the half, and the second one while Hiram was looking to go win the game and go score a last-minute touchdown. Those 2 receptions, he had 17 yards, averaging 8.5 yards per return, but he did have a 15-yard return. Kickoff returns, Isaac Trout had 1 for 17 yards, and Austin Lawrence, 1 return for 2 yards. Defense, leading the way is Ewing Jamison, 7 tackles, 5 assisted. Kevin Willis had 4 tackles, 2 assisted, and half of a sack. Sebastian Ross, 2 tackles, 3 assisted, and half a sack as well. Isaac Adam, 2 tackles, 2 assisted, and 1.5 sacks. Tyler Curry didn't have any solo tackles, but did have an assisted tackle and half a sack. Passing, Waynesburg had 5 first downs through the air, 11 on the ground. Only 3 penalties. Third down efficiency, they were only 3 for 13 on third down and 2 for 4 on fourth down. So that's 23% on third down. They have to get that up. Third down is a big down, and this Tomcats defense likes to force teams into third down situations. They had 451 yards of total offense on 66 plays, averaging 6.8 yards per play. Their net passing was 174, 17 completions on 20 attempts for both quarterbacks, averaging 8.7 per play. Hudson was sacked once and he lost 13 yards. Net rushing as a team, 277 on 46 rushing attempts, gaining 6 yards of carry. That's a pretty good stat. If you're averaging 6 yards a carry, I think you're pretty good. I think you're going to be okay. 3 punts for 101 yards, averaging 33.7. Total return yards were 36. Penalties, 17 penalties for 125 yards as a team. Like I said, only 3 of those were on the offensive side of the football. Marcus Crum, 2 interceptions. The only 2 interceptions for the team last Saturday. And they held the ball for 34 minutes and 49 seconds. Hiram had it for 25 minutes and 11 seconds. And you really see where that lined up in the final score. Teal and Allegheny. The Gators beat the Tomcats 26-0 in Meadville last Saturday. Allegheny scored 13 in the first quarter, 0 in the second, 6 in the third quarter, and 7 in the fourth. Teal's Najir Howard went 13 for 28 for 81 yards. His longest was a 20-yard strike, and he threw 1 interception. DJ Logan, the Pack honorable mention running back from last season, 16 attempts for 35 yards, averaging 2.2 a carry. His longest was 11 yards. So that just really shows the moral of the story for the Tomcats and why they're not scoring any points. They can't get the run game going. Before that 11-yard long, that's his career long too. So his longest before that was a 2-yard run against Concordia. So if you can only get 11 yards as your long, I think that tells the story of how your season's going to go. If you can't get the ball on the ground, if you can't run the football effectively, it's going to hurt you. We've seen it so many times. You can't just rely on your quarterback, right? Najir Howard ran the ball 9 times for 14 yards. His longest was a 17-yard scramble. Did get sacked a few times. Javier White, 3 attempts, 11 yards, and his longest was 5. Riley Dunbar led the team in receiving on Saturday, the freshman. 4 catches, 52 yards, averaging 13 a catch. His longest was a 20-yard catch. That was Najir Howard's longest throw of the night. C.K. Kershaw, 1 catch, 11 yards. Eric Wilson, 1 catch for 10 yards. Drayvon Newton, 1 catch for 4 yards. Adam Crease, 1 catch for 4 yards. DJ Logan, 3 catches for 3 yards. Jalen Benjamin, 1 catch for -1 yard. And Joey Fell, Joey Football, as we call him here in Greenville, 1 catch for -2 yards. Spencer Clearly, the Aussie, 5 kicks, 151 yards kicking, averaging 30.2, and his longest was a 40-yard punt. Spencer Clearly did his best to pin the Gators deep, and he really did on a lot of those punts. Granted, Teal was backed up pretty far every time he came out. Did shank 1 kick, I believe. That was almost blocked. It rolled right off the front of his foot there. Kickoff returns, Javier White had 3 for 65 yards. C.K. Kershaw had 1 for 24 yards, and Joey Fell had 1 for 16 yards. DJ Logan fumbled the ball. So did Najir Howard and C.K. Kershaw, and all 3 of those fumbles were lost. The turnover game is really also something that's holding these Tomcats back, right? If you look into it, you're not getting as many interceptions or fumbles as you're giving away. So you're really giving the ball to your opponent most of the time instead of getting the ball from them. That's another big thing. That's another reason why they're losing these games, against Allegheny, is because they can't hold on to the football. Right? Too many times there's a drive going down the field to where it looks like they're about to score and they shoot themselves in the foot. So they really need to clean up, especially the offensive line. The offensive line has been a struggle for this team this year. I was on the call for two for 2 out of 3 of the games this year, week 1 and week 3. And the O-line has been an issue, right? Week 1, you played Concordia, Wisconsin. They're a good football team. Week 2, you played Adrian, got blown out 76-0. You got to get something going on the ground before you can rely on your passing game. And you got to rely on turnovers because your defense can't do it all, right? You can't rely on your defense for everything. But when they get you the ball back, you got to go score, right? And this defense is great. Their run defense is outstanding. It's their pass defense as well, right? Over the top, teams take advantage of that. Teal doesn't have the tallest defensive backs, right? So these teams like Allegheny and Concordia and Adrian, they'll beat you over the top. They did it the last couple weeks. Allegheny's quarterback tried for the deep ball so many times that it connected. I think only one was dropped, and it was in the bucket, but he dropped it. Allegheny's receiver did. Defense, Robert Dixie led the team. 3 tackles, 8 assisted tackles, 11 in total for him. Jake Badger had 5 solo tackles and 4 assisted. Matt Jordan, 3 tackles, 3 assisted. Devin Long, 3 tackles, 2 assisted. Brian White, 3 tackles, 2 assisted. Alex Mittner, 3 tackles, 1 assisted, and a sack. Makai Carroll also got a sack and a forced fumble. But this entire defense gets included, right? There's no one on here without 0 tackles at all. Like, Dylan Ahern didn't get a solo tackle, but he had 2 assisted tackles, right? So this defense is a huge part of this team. You just can't do much when you're only relying on your defense. The Tomcats had 9 first downs, 3 of them passing, 4 of them rushing, 2 offensive penalties. Third down efficiency, or 2 penalty first downs, excuse me. I was reading that stat wrong. 3 for 14 on third down. That's not going to cut it. Just like I was talking about Waynesburg, you have to convert on third down. You have to. It's a must. But a way to get out of those third down situations, don't get in them. It's easier said than done. But you have to hold on to the football. Can't be stuck in 4-down territory. Have to convert on third down, right? And you have to have all your keys lining up as well. You can't have some pieces over here working, and then maybe over here a couple other pieces working. You can't do it. It's just not going to work for you at all. 141 yards of total offense on 56 plays. Have to pick up more yards. In the ground game, it was a big part of that, right? Najir Howard got sacked. He lost some yards there. DJ Logan can't find holes. He's getting stuffed. Javier White can't find holes. He's getting stuffed. Receivers are only catching passes that are only going for a yard. 3 catches for 3 yards. That's a tough stat. You can't have that, right? Net passing, they had 81 yards, which was the total as well. 13 completions on 28 attempts. Averaging 2.9 pass yards per play. If you're averaging 2 yards a play on a pass, you got to get rid of the scheme, right? And I don't know if it's just necessarily the scheme or Najee Howard's not having time to throw the football. Tomcats had a lot of screens, right? And a lot of screens on first down, too, which confuses me in so many ways. Because then you're stuck. If the screen doesn't work on first down, you're stuck with 2nd and long and 3rd and long and then 4th and long, and then Spencer Clear got to come out punting away. So I don't know if it's necessarily the scheme or if the scheme's there, but the execution's not. It's been both ways, right? The execution's been there, but the scheme didn't work. The scheme worked, but it wasn't executed, right? So many drives last week where the Tomcats got into good territory or started in great territory, and they just couldn't punch it in. They either turned it over or they had to punt. Not much you can do when you're shooting yourself in the foot. Najir Howard was sacked for 3 times. He lost 23 yards. 1 interception, like I stated. 28 rushing attempts on 60 net rushing yards. 2.1 per game. 2.1 per carry. I mean, that's just something you can't have playing college football, right? Punts, like I said, 5 times for 151 yards, averaging 30 yards a kick. It's not the best stat in the world, but it's pretty decent, right? If you can pin your opponent 30 yards farther back than you are, that's a win for me, especially with this defensive front, right? Jake Badger at linebacker, Alex Mittner, Dylan Ahern, Brian White. These guys tear it up. Devin Long. These guys tear it up on the front. Everybody's doing their job. Just stuff's not clicking, right? That's why they let Adrian put up 76 on him. That's why they let Concordia put up 28 on him. You only have 1 touchdown this entire season, and that was against Adrian when it was a turnover on downs on the 1-yard line, or a fumble, I believe. It was either a fumble or a turnover on downs, and DJ Logan punched it in from half a yard out. That's not going to win you football games, just plain and simple. Says no punt returns. Allegheny did punt a few times. 5 kickoff returns for 105 yards. 7 penalties. 7 penalties for 39 yards. That's what I mean by you can't shoot yourself in the foot. 7 penalties is unacceptable no matter what level of football you play. Right? Like 7 penalties is like middle school football. You can't have that at all. Which, granted, the refs didn't help in any way either because they barely knew how to spot the ball. Not banging on the refs, but they weren't the best crew I've ever seen. Far from it. 2 sacks, lost 5 yards. Or no, excuse me. The defense had 2 sacks, and Allegheny lost 5 yards on that. They fumbled the ball 3 times, and they lost all 3 of those fumbles. No interceptions. They only had the ball for 27 minutes as well. Allegheny held on to it for 32 minutes and 43 seconds. And speaking of Allegheny, Carson Colucci, 13 for 21, 157 yards. His longest was 46, and he had a touchdown. Like, the passing defense, it's there until it's not, right? These DBs can cover. These DBs can break up passes. But teams like Allegheny take advantage of the height difference, right? These aren't the tallest DBs that Teal has. And they just take them off over the top. Dominic Baraducci ran the ball 24 times, had 157 yards, and 2 touchdowns. His longest was a 57-yard run. You want to know where that 57-yard run came from? Allegheny was at their own 1-yard line. They had everything covered but the middle. It was like a play in Madden, right? Everybody was on the outsides. The outside was covered, expecting the outside run, but the middle was wide open. All Baraducci had to do was just slip a tackle, and he did, and he ran for 57 yards. Those are also just plays you can't have happen. I know they're going to happen. It's football, but you really have to limit those. I mean, I don't know what else to say about that play in itself. But just have to. Especially if either you're backed up or another team's backed up, you have to cover the middle. Like, Taron Mitchell, 2 attempts for 52 yards. His longest was 49. Taron Mitchell tore up this defense. Him, Baraducci, and Devin Larry. Devin Larry had 5 catches on 100 yards. His longest was 46. Dominic Baraducci, his longest was 13. Taron Mitchell, his longest was 22. Will Griffin, his longest was 3, which he only had 2 catches on 2 yards. He lost a yard. Ian Olsen missed the field goal but went 2-2 for extra points. Allegheny went for a 2-point conversion twice and they failed. So that's a good sign for Teal's defense. They can stop the 2-point conversion, which could be huge. That can win or lose your games, whether if a team gets a 2-point conversion or not. It said Carson Colucci's on the kicking. Not sure why. Dylan Reed had 4 punts, 139 yards. His longest was 50, and 3 of those were inside the 20. So Dylan Reed really did a good job of backing up this Tomcat offense as well. Corey Holleran, he had a pick, but he went out of bounds pretty much as soon as he caught it. It was a great play. Devin Larry had 1 punt return for 9 yards. Terry Mitchell had 1 kick return for 16 yards. Carson Colucci fumbled the ball, but he fell back on it. Dominic Baraducci did fumble the ball, and the Tomcats recovered. On the defense, Colton Colucci, brother of Carson Colucci, 4 tackles, 3 assisted. Once he got going in the second half, he didn't stop. I think he only had 1 or 2 tackles in the first half, but that second half he really got on it and stepped up big. David Williams, 3 tackles, 3 assisted. Landon Wade, 5 total tackles, 3 solo, 1 forced fumble. Same exact stat for Michael Shahan, excuse me. Ryan Costin, 5 tackles, 1 solo. This defense just really had solid tackling. And coverage, too. Like I said, Najir Howard could barely get the ball out. Their defensive line got in the backfield. They disrupted the pocket. That's what they're supposed to do. Corey Holleran got the interception, like I stated. And I discussed that. So that's really all that I wanted to discuss for D3 football since it's homecoming. Next week we're going to discuss a lot more D3 football. We're going to go top 25, OAC, other conferences around the country. But D3 football, there's a lot going on. I will give you guys the complete PAC football schedule for next Saturday, or for this Saturday, excuse me. And I'll have this shown too on the screen, so you can look at it and visualize it. Football, not baseball. I click football. So your PAC football schedule for next week, it's on screen. Hiram in St. Vincent, 1 o'clock kickoff. In Latrobe, Geneva and Allegheny in Meadville, 2 o'clock kickoff. Case Western Reserve travels to Bethany, West Virginia to take on the Bison at 2 p.m. Waynesburg comes to Greenville for Teal's homecoming at 3 p.m. Like I said, Connor Steffens and I will be on the call going on air around 2 on 88.1 FM WXTC Greenville, Pennsylvania, and on WXTCradio.com. We'll also potentially be on the Pack Digital Network stream. That just depends on what they want to do. W&J in Grove City, 7 p.m. kickoff in Grove City. That's going to be on Sportsnet Pittsburgh and on Wolverine Sports Radio. And that's it for Pack football for this coming week. Like I said, next week we'll discuss a lot more Division III football. I just really wanted to discuss the Tomcats since it is homecoming weekend. Division II football. The top 25. This was uploaded September 22nd at 6 a.m. on d2football.com. Ferris State, 4-0 is number 1. Harding, number 2, 3-0. Kutztown, 3-0. West Florida, 4-0. Western Colorado's 3-0. And these rankings will also be on screen for you. Western Colorado, number 5. Angelo State, number 6. UT Permian Basin. My apologies for pronunciation. Central Oklahoma, they're 2-1, but they made the cut at number 8. Slippery Rock 3-0 at number 9. Pittsburgh State 2-2, but they're ranked number 10. Minnesota Duluth, I believe, number 11. CSU Pueblo, 3-1, number 12. Augustina, 13 at 4-0, or 3-1, excuse me. Minnesota State is 3-1. They're ranked at 14. Grand Valley State, 2-1, ranked number 15. California of PA, they are number 16 at 3-0. Crazy enough, I'm like 10 minutes from their campus, not even. So when I'm home over fall break, I'm definitely going to try to catch some Vulcan football. West Alabama is ranked number 17th in the country, followed by Central Washington, Indianapolis, Wingate, Virginia Union, Fort Hays State, Virginia State, Findlay, and Ashland. Let's look at a schedule here. Not from the 19th, for the 27th. Bentley plays American International at 12 o'clock. Clarion goes to Edinburgh. That's a noon kickoff. Central State goes to Lane. Westchester goes to Millersville. West Alabama goes to North Greenville. Ashland goes to Northwood. IUP goes to Seton Hill. Kutztown goes to Shepherd. Chowan goes to Shorter. Allen goes to Albany State. Winston-Salem State, goes to Bowie State. West Liberty goes to Concord. Jamestown goes to Concordia St. Paul. Anderson goes to Emory and Henry. Virginia State goes to Fayetteville State. Assumption goes to Franklin Pierce. Charleston goes to Glenville State. East Stroudsburg goes to Lock Haven. Mary Hardin Baylor goes to Mars Hill. MSU Moorhead goes to Minnesota Duluth. Pace goes to St. Anselm. Virginia Union goes to Shaw. Bloomsburg goes to Shippensburg. California and Slippery Rock. It's going to be in Slippery Rock, 1 o'clock kickoff. The Trojans taking on the Rock. That's going to be a good game. That was a good game in the playoffs. I think it was the semifinals or the quarterfinals. Those two had a barn burner of a game. I'm excited for this game. Quincy and Wayne State, Michigan. Fairmount goes to West Virginia State. Winona State goes to Augustana. Missouri Southern goes to Central Missouri. Pittsburgh State plays Emporia State. Kentucky Wasteland plays Hillsdale. Bluefield State goes to Johnson C. Smith. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. Goes to Minute State. Bemidji? Not sure. Lincoln goes to Upper Iowa. Tuscaloosa goes to UVA Wise. Nebraska Cannery goes to Washburn. Southwest Minnesota State goes to Wayne State, Nebraska. Central Oklahoma goes to Northwest Missouri. And yeah, I'll just put a link to the schedule. There's a lot of football going on in Division II, which is a great thing. That's why I'm doing the show. I just love college football. You're going to hear me say it so many times, right? College football differentiates itself from the NFL or from high school football or from the CFL, right? It's essentially for lack of better terms, it's its own branding of football, obviously, but it's its own style of football. You know, you're not going to watch a college football game and an NFL game and be like, oh, these games were similar. You're rarely going to see that in college football. And speaking of college football, we got more to talk about. Division One college football. Let's talk about my Panthers first. 2-1. Tough loss to West Virginia on the road in the backyard brawl. Blew a 10-point lead late. Um, it, as a Pitt fan, that hurts my soul, losing to West Virginia for the last backyard brawl until 2029. There's just really so much we have to clean up. Desmond Reed not playing for most of the game really played a part in that too, right? You don't have your star player in Desmond Reed. I don't know how you're going to succeed on the ground, really. I mean, Joel Goff did a great job. Let me go try to pull stats up. Oh, it just started raining real hard. Good thing I'm in this building for a while. Okay. So week 1, blew out Duquesne, 61-9, right? Week 2, Central Michigan. I actually got to go to this game. I was very excited to go to this game. Pittsburgh and CMU, 45-17, final score. Me, my little brother, and my girlfriend went. It was a great experience. I had a lot of fun. Backyard brawl week 3, final in overtime, 24-31. Eli Holstein, 22 for 37, 303, and a touchdown. I mean, you're throwing for 300 yards, and you're still losing a football game. That's not really on you, right? Sophomore quarterback, he's still trying to find his groove, too. Joel Goff, 8 carries for 37 yards. Poppy Williams, 6 receptions for 119 yards. Desmond Reed, 6 carries for 30 yards. He only carried the ball 6 times. I don't know if he got injured. I don't know if something else was going on. But when your star running back is only running the ball 6 times, gaining 5 yards a carry, that's a reason why they lost. Fayette County's own Robert Gallagher III. He went to one of my rival high schools. He went to Laurel Highlands. I went to Brownsville. He had 7 receptions for 61 yards. He tore this Pitt secondary apart. Nico Marchiol, 19 for 25, 192 passing yards, and a touchdown. Scotty Fox threw the ball 4 times, completed 1 pass. 2 of those were interceptions. Jalen Henderson threw the ball 3 times, completed 2 and 12 yards. This running game for West Virginia, Ty Edwards, 25 attempts, 141 yards, 3 touchdowns. When you're running the ball like that, you're going to win football games. And that's what West Virginia did. They won a football game, right? They lost to Ohio, bounced back, beat Pitt. Like I said, Ronnie Gallagher, 7 catches for 61 yards. Led the team. Grayson Barnes, 5 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown. His long was 34. But that's really the story as Pitt plays Louisville this coming week, right? It's a noon kickoff. It's in Pittsburgh. You get back to your home turf. Louisville's 3-0, defeating... Who'd they defeat? They're 9th in the conference. Not showing me their schedule. Georgia Tech's number 1 in the conference. Followed by Syracuse, Virginia, Duke, NC State, Stanford, Miami, Florida State, Louisville, Cal, Pittsburgh, North Carolina, SMU, Virginia Tech, Wake Forest, Boston College, and Clemson. I never realized how big the ACC was. But going into this game, you have to give Desmond Reed the ball, right? Just have to. There's no way you can afford not to give Desmond Reed the football. I'm just trying to see Louisville's schedule. I know they beat Bowling Green last week. Okay, so they started their season off against Eastern Kentucky, blew them out the water, 51-17. Went on the road to Washington, squeaked out by a point, 35-34. Oh no, that's from last year. Disregard. They they were at home against James Madison, beat them by 2 touchdowns, 14-28, and then they beat Bowling Green 40-17. They're gonna give me any sort of stats. That makes Bowling Green 2-2 on the year. Louisville 3-0, like I stated. Miller Moss 23 for 32, 316. No touchdowns and no picks. Deuce Adams 1 for 1, -3 yards. Kajon Brown 12 catches, 84 yards, 2 touchdowns. Braxton Jennings carries, not catches. Kajon Brown 12 carries, 84 yards. 2 touchdowns. Braxton Jennings, 6 carries, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Isaac Brown, 1 carry for 18 yards. Miller Moss got sacked 3 times, lost 25 yards. Scored a couple defensive touchdowns. D'Angelo Hutchinson, 2 tackles, 5 assisted, 1 pick. Antonio Watts, 2 tackles, and a pick. Colin Lacey only punted twice for 65 yards. He had 2 returns for 65 yards. I don't know what I'm talking about today. He also had 3 punt returns for 106 yards and a touchdown. Special teams, right? This is something I haven't stressed all that much today, but something I really want to stress. If you don't have a good special teams unit, it lowers your chances of winning football games, right? Obviously, offense and defense are the main two, but if you don't have good special teams, I'm sorry, you're not going far. And this is an example of good special teams. Having only 3 punt returns, but going 106 yards and scoring a touchdown, I don't know about you, but that looks like pretty good special teams to me. Special teams is so underrated, too, because no one discusses special teams. No one discusses kickers and punters, returnmen. These guys have a crucial part in football games. For example, against the Dolphins, Patriots and Dolphins, Dolphins scored a touchdown. Antonio Gibson came back with a kick return, got right back in the game for the Patriots. Patriots ended up winning that game. If it wasn't for that Antonio Gibson touchdown, the Patriots would have lost. Cooper Ranvier, I'm going to say. He went 3 for 3. His longest was from 48. He scored 13 points on the day. And Nick Keller, 1 for 1 from 57, put 3 on the board. Carter Schwartz, 2 punts for 101 yards. So Pitt and Louisville is going to be a game to watch in the ACC. Another game that's going to be a game to watch. Bama, Georgia. It's Bama, Georgia week, ladies and gentlemen. If I can get back to the schedules. Bama, Georgia. Number 17, Bama. Number 5, Georgia. Georgia's projected to win this game. They have a 59% chance. Alabama has a 41% chance. So for one of the first times in a long time, Alabama's going to a game as an underdog. And I know that's kind of been the story these last couple of years since Nick Saban left. They just haven't been the same Alabama team. But last time, I don't know if this was last time they played. If my ESPN will load. Oh, come on. Anyways, while we're waiting for this to load up, a discussion for this game is can J.M. Miller run the football? And can Ryan Williams make big plays? We know he can. 2024, J.M. Miller ran the ball 145 times, 668 yards, 7 touchdowns. This year, it says he's active, senior, but there's no stats for him this season. Recent games, November, December, disregard. Okay, since I guess, is J.M. Miller hurt? Someone put in the comments if J.M. Miller's hurt or not, because I thought he was good this year. A.K. Deer. 7 carries, 85 yards, and a touchdown in 2025. 7 carries, like I said. I want to know. Huh. Well, that's news to me. That shows you how much I pay attention to the SEC. I should be, though. I should follow a lot more. Anyways. His last 2 appearances, a win over ULM, 73-0, and it would be 2 weeks ago now against Wisconsin, 38-14. That one touchdown was against ULM. Daniel Hill, 6 carries, 23 yards, no touchdowns this year. His longest was 7. I still can't believe I didn't realize J.M. Miller hasn't played this season. That's nuts. Georgia Bulldogs. That's not even like showing me the team. But yeah. 2-1 Crimson Tide, 3-0 Bulldogs. I got the Dogs winning. I just don't know. I don't know if Alabama's defense can hold it together to stop Georgia. I know Alabama's offense can tear them apart, but can they respond on the defensive side of the football? Granted, like I said, I haven't watched too much Alabama or Georgia football necessarily, but I feel like Georgia's going to take it. Isn't it crazy to think of we're in week 5 already of the college football season? Number 8, Florida State plays Virginia tomorrow at 7 p.m. TCU, number 24, takes on Arizona State tomorrow at 9 p.m. Little doubleheader for you guys. USC takes on Illinois after Illinois absolutely got blown out by the Hoosiers of Indiana. Number 22, Notre Dame takes on Arkansas at noon on Saturday. Number 16, Georgia Tech taking on Wake Forest. Utah State taking on number 18, Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt's legit now, and a lot of people don't want to realize that, but Vanderbilt is legit. So is Georgia Tech. 2 teams who haven't really showed much of. There was some promise last year, but nothing crazy. But now, these 2 teams are legit. Auburn taking on number 9, Texas A&M. Number 1, Ohio State taking on Washington. Number 4, LSU versus number 13, Ole Miss. I'm going to have my eye on that game. It's a 3:30 kickoff. Number 11, Indiana takes on Iowa. Number 15, Tennessee takes on Mississippi State. Arizona takes on number 14, Iowa State. Number 6, Oregon takes on number 3, Penn State. Number 20, Missouri takes on UMass. Bama, Georgia, like I said. And at 10:15, we got number 25, BYU against Colorado. Colorado, they're 2-2. BYU's 3-0. But ever since Shedeur and Travis Hunter left, this team just hasn't all been there, right? like I said, 2-2. Dion's saying some crazy stuff like week 0 against Georgia Tech. He said you didn't beat me, you just escaped, right? Like, what do you mean they won the football game? What do you mean they didn't beat you? Anyway, that's gonna be at Colorado, 10:15 Eastern time. BYU is projected to have a 71% chance of winning this football game, and I'm going with the Cougs. Give me BYU. I don't know what else to really say about this matchup, except for, can Colorado just hold it together? That's all they have to do. They're not going to win a lot of these football games against ranked schools, but can they just keep it together? And as I was talking about Indiana and Illinois, where'd the score for that game go? Week 4. 63-10. Indiana beat Illinois. 63-10 as an underdog. Illinois, I believe, was number 8 or number 9. They were in the top 10. And they got blown out of the water. Realistically, I don't know how they're still in the top 25. They're number 23, but I don't know how they're still in the top 25. Number 2, Miami defeated the Gators 26-7. BYU beat East Carolina 34-13. LSU beat Southeast Louisiana 56-10. Held them scoreless in the first quarter, I believe, or it was only 7-0, something crazy like that. And then LSU just stepped on the gas pedal. Number 18, Vandy, they put up a 70 bomb on Georgia State. Texas put up a 55 bomb on Sam Houston. And USC defeated Michigan State 31-45. John Mateer hurt. How will this affect Oklahoma? 24-17 against Auburn. But how will this John Mateer injury play out? They have a bye week this week. But within the next couple weeks, I'm kind of concerned for Oklahoma. I won't lie to you. After losing your number 1 guy. Nebraska fell to Michigan by 3 points. 30-27 in Nebraska. Georgia Tech beat Temple 45-24. Notre Dame beat Purdue 56-30. Notre Dame is a struggle story this year. This isn't something I thought I would see going into week 5. Notre Dame only being 1-2, and their one win was against the Purdue Boilermakers, right? Notre Dame was just in the championship game. And if this keeps going the way it's going for Notre Dame, later in the season when they take on the Panthers, give me my Panthers in that game. Big rivalry game. We haven't seen it for a couple years. I just don't see Notre Dame making the playoff this year. If their only win so far is against the Boilermakers. West Virginia, BYU, week 6. Week 6 looks fun. Like I said, West Virginia, BYU, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Illinois, Purdue, Kentucky, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Texas, Florida. That's always a good game. Vandy, Alabama. As of right now, they're the Bama 17, Vandy's 18. Last year, Vandy upset Bama. Can it happen again? I mean, but is this year, will it be as much as an upset as it was last year? I just don't see that. Penn State taking on UCLA, Texas Tech and Houston, Colorado and TCU. Like I said, I don't know how Colorado will fare against these ranked schools, right? You got BYU this week, you got TCU next week. 2 ranked schools back to back. Miami and Florida State, that's going to be a good game. Minnesota, Ohio State, Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Oklahoma, Kent State. I'm sure Oklahoma will be fine against Kent State. I mean, it's Kent State. They just got their first win in God knows how long. Just, what was it, 2 weeks ago at this point? 3 weeks ago, maybe. I don't remember. Notre Dame and Boise State. Boise State fell off hard after Ashton Genty went to the league. Um, Boise State was just in the playoff, and now they're not even in the top 25. So that really just shows how valuable a running back is. Texas and Florida, and everything else I discussed. But we are starting to creep into conference play. At least in the ACC, we're already in conference play. Week 7, my Panthers play Florida State. But this top 25 is shaping up to be potentially one of the greatest playoff brackets we'll see here in the new era for a while. This top 25, or excuse me, this top 12. That's not just let me see for the whole. It was just giving me by conference, so I actually have to go in and try to find something that shows the top 25. Okay. The AP top 25. You got Miami number 1. You got Ohio State number 1. Miami number 2. Penn State, LSU, Georgia, Oregon, Oklahoma, Florida State, Texas A&M, Texas and Indiana, and Texas Tech. So if the playoffs were today, that would be your bracket. In the coaches poll, Ohio State, Penn State, Georgia, LSU, Oregon, Miami, Texas, Florida State, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, Ole Miss, and Indiana. So essentially the same bracket minus Ole Miss being in and Texas Tech being out. Either one of those brackets would be a very fun playoff to watch. I know it's only week 5. It's a little early for playoff talk. But that's just something that I see happening, and I'm like, yes, give it to me. That's what I want to see, you know? Well, that's really all I have today. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching all the way through. Don't forget, Saturday the 27th, 2 o'clock on the air, Connor Steffens and I will be calling the homecoming game for the Teal Tomcats and the Waynesburg Yellow Jackets. Also, a quick radio shout out. Our 24-hour broadcast coming up this weekend, Friday and Saturday. My show will be from 1 to 3 a.m. Saturday morning. Tune in if you're up. Just got to talk about sports going on and play some music like I usually do on the 2-minute warning. Listen to that as well. Follow the Instagram. I think this will be up on TCTV's YouTube. But I will also be making my own YouTube for this podcast because I want to continue it after my practical class is complete. So stay tuned for that. I'll keep you guys updated next week on the episode. But that's really all I have. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for watching all the way through. Make sure you keep following TCTV Productions. TCTV on YouTube, I believe it is. There's a lot of creative ideas going on in this practicum class, and I'm really excited for everybody's projects. I think this is going to be a great semester worth of practicum work. So just keep following along with that. Keep following along with Tomcat Sports. I will be covering a lot of it, especially on this podcast, football-wise, and every other sport on the 2-minute warning. Like I said, just follow me, 2-minute warning radio show, and get all the updates. It's going to be a fun rest of the college football season. I'm excited. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.